Hello guys, not sure if we're live. I think we are though. Yeah, okay, so we are live. So hello, how's everybody doing? Sorry, I was just a bit confused there to see if we were on or not, but we are on. So hope everyone's doing well. We're back for another live training, and I've got quite a bit to get through this time, which is good. Excuse me, you may have noticed I've also added some more videos into the course. So I've filled out the module 7, which is broadcasting, and some 4 videos around that, and also added in some bonuses as well, which you can check out in your own time. So yeah, let me know if you can hear me, whoever's watching. I see we have 1 viewer. So yeah, let me know if you can hear me. I know we have quite a detailed question to go through for Lindsay, but I'll answer the other questions first, and we'll move back to that because it's just, I think it's going to take maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to do that question, but it's an interesting topic, right? And it's probably interesting for everyone else to see. And it also sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole, which is pretty cool. I was off looking into things. So yeah. So let me come back here. So Sierra's question here was that if you don't have your own blog, does it redirect them? Like basically, if you don't have anywhere on your own website to send them to give them a little bit of value, should you redirect them to a different website? The answer is yes. Like, it's obviously ideal if you have your own content and you're putting stuff up on your own website. But if you're not, then you can just send them to somewhere else. It's just a value email to keep people engaged, so that they're not like hating you when you're sending them emails every day. So yeah. So the email, that's just our offer. The email saying you can join for free, that's just our offer we had. So you can do any offer you want. And this is Lindsay's question. Yeah, no, I think we've covered this already. That's just essentially moving people between this. So the 4 buckets is being worked on. So the doc we talked about on our last live, that's being worked on now. So I've written the document. I just have someone put into a nice PDF for me. So yeah. So we talked about this on the last live. So we're up to date now pretty much. So Lindsay's question here, I'm gonna get back to. Okay, so grand. So Sally had a couple of questions. The first one was, okay, so she wants to move basically move the email address closer to the start of the checkout, but you can't put it on the product page. So essentially, yeah. So as I mentioned here, we have a sign up survey or sign up form where we actually ask them a couple of questions. You know, it's an email capture, but it's also like an upsell feature. Plus, it's also figuring out what product they want. It's a lot of things in one. Okay, but obviously we have the email capture in there for us to grab the leads really easily. So what I mentioned about you could have is like a pop up where someone, like a click pop, it's called, right? When someone clicks on it, instead of bringing them straight to the checkout, it asks them for their email. So actually, if I put that together with this, like if you had something there, so grand, okay? So like the information I need is here. So like if you want to, of course you could have a squeeze page, right? So if you're doing it with an affiliate, it could say something like enter your email to get your free trial pack. And then once they enter their email, they're redirected to this page and they add the cart and off they go, okay? Now, of course, what I mentioned here was you can actually come along here, and when they hit this button, instead of it adding it to the cart, it essentially opens up a pop-up and it says enter your email to grab this trial pack. Okay, now the only reason that's not ideal is because they've already seen the price. Generally, if it's an affiliate offer, you want to grab people's emails before they see any prices or anything, okay? Especially if you're doing something like free plus shipping, because you want them to see free and then give you their email. And now, because if you start showing them prices and they're put off by the price, then you might get less emails, okay? So whoever's watching, let me know if you can hear me, and let me know if everything's working okay and I'm making any sense. And just say hello, because I'm lonely, okay? But essentially that's how you could do it, okay? So I would have probably a squeeze page. Don't mention anything about the price, and just have the squeeze page essentially come up when they click on the link from whatever affiliate you're using. And then yeah, that's probably what I would do. Or you can do this one as well, click on add to cart, or you could do, yeah, no, that's pretty much the 2 ones I would do. So yeah, like this page looks great. Now the only thing is our next question here, Hi Rola, thank you for that. The next thing about this, right, is how about even something like this? The problem is if I have to pay the brand even £3, then I have to pay postage. I would still have to charge the same or a small amount less to make a profit, wouldn't I? Yes. So I guess I need to find the brand. So essentially, when you're doing funnels, okay, and that's what this. I don't actually go too far into it in this video, but essentially, it's a self-liquidating funnel. Okay, now that's only a one product funnel. Okay, now what you could do and what we actually did on this one is, okay, you're offering multiple quantities, right, which I saw here, but one thing you can do is you can offer a quantity break discount. So like, you basically, instead of charging you £10 for one, then maybe £19 for two, then obviously that's £9 per pack, and then maybe if they order 4 it's £8 per pack, and if they order 6 it's £7 per pack. So essentially you're making less profit per unit, but the shipping remains the same, and hopefully maybe you can package them all together into one box, so the packaging costs remain the same, but essentially instead of someone paying £10 they're paying £40. Okay, obviously there's more product, but the average cart value is a lot higher, so you should probably try to incentivize people to actually order more. So the whole name of the game with self-liquidating funnels and funnels in general is cart value. Okay, so if I come over here and if I really wanted to buy 24 products, I would buy 4. Okay, whereas if you told me the best value is to get 4 plus you also get this free bonus, then I'm more likely to go for 4. And if I go for 4 I pay £36 or whatever, or £32, and your average cart value, instead of being 10 or 11 or 12, is going to be 30 or 25. Okay, so that means you'll have a lot more money available to pay the £3 to the affiliate. Okay, the next thing is, I'm not sure I cover it in this video because at risk of overwhelming people, but essentially after they got the initial color, they were actually shown a series of upsells. Okay, now what an upsell is essentially it's like leading a customer down a path, and before they actually get to the checkout confirmation page, it basically pops up and says, hey, do you want to get this? So we started off with a dog collar, and then the next product we showed them was, do you want to get this dog lead? Okay, it's a matching lead that lights up with the collar. Okay, and that was like £10. So the collar was free plus $3.99 shipping. They had an option to choose multiple quantities, but after they saw that, they were actually given an opportunity to buy a different product or a complementary product. Okay, now what you could do is you could have these quantity break discounts, as I said. Click add to cart. When they go to when they actually make a purchase. Now I don't know if your software that you're using supports this. Subly have actually recently come out with checkout securely. So you have some upsells here. Okay, so that's a good thing. So pretty much, enter your email. So the thing about pre-purchase upsells is that people are less likely to go for it, and they're more likely to drop off when they get to the cart, and they came on to buy something for £10, and then now they've put in 2 more things, and now it's at £65, and they're like, oh, I don't know. So essentially what we do, and Subly has actually come out with this post-purchase feature now as well. It was a really popular thing with ClickFunnels and the things that's also what we did in this funnel here. But essentially I'm saying all this is because you want to have a higher cart value. Okay, so Subly has these post-purchase things as well now. So we actually essentially have a second subscription. So what happens is when someone comes in, they buy their subscription office, they're upsold another subscription. We're also coming up with some different ones that we're still trying to figure out now, like maybe an extra toy or a cat box or something like that. But essentially, the whole name of the game in this is it's going to be very difficult for you to, number one, so where am I going with this, right? It's going to be very difficult for you for number one, to find an affiliate that's going to let you send traffic for free. They want money, right? So essentially, if you're working out like, oh, people are only going to buy £10 worth of stuff off me, you're never going to make it work. Okay, you have to figure out a way for the average cart value to be 20, 30, 40 pound, and the way you do that is, like I said, quantity break discounts. You could do an order bump, so something like when you're on the checkout, essentially like you've got next day delivery, which is kind of like an order bump, or you could have something like add in one extra product or whatever. Okay, the next thing you can do is, after they've actually seen the initial product, which is what we did here, we showed them a lead. Then we showed them a Buster Box subscription if they wanted. So they came in for a free collar, they got shown a lead, they got asked if they want to sign up for Buster Box. If they said no, we had a downsell, which basically means it's only showed them if they say no to the upsell, which was the box subscription, and it was a one-off box. Okay, if they said no to that, I think they were showing like one more product. But essentially, you have a series of products. So this whole funnel, most people were buying more than one collar. Some people were also buying upsells. So the average cart value, instead of being $3.99, was like 10 or 11, 12 pounds. Okay, and that's where you need to go with your one. You need to have your average cart value to be 20, 30, 40 pounds, and that's the way you can pay the affiliates. Okay, so how you do that, I'm not sure. Your developer might be able to do it for you, or something like ClickFunnels, something like Pay Kickstart is what we use. It's not that easy to use. Or Subly has now got post-purchase upsells as well. Okay, so essentially order bumps, multiple quantity discounts, and post-purchase upsells will be the ways I would up that average cart value, because it's going to be very difficult for you to make that work at £10, and no one's going to send you traffic for free. Okay, they want to be paid. Okay, so that's essentially what I'd say about that. It's not about getting the affiliate to send traffic for free. It's about increasing the average cart value of that funnel. Okay, and that sample box. So a lot of people will actually buy the sample product. They come in to get something for free, for example, but if you position your products right and you position your upsells correctly, they'll actually buy way more than just what you offered. Okay, does that make sense? So that's grand. Now, so yeah, so that was the question. So that's the email thing. That's the funnel. That was the new videos I posted this week. And then we have Lindsay's question. Okay, so this is this is an interesting question. Someone also asked me a question in Messenger. I'm just going to cover it briefly. Basically, her email ended up in the spam folder. And essentially, you want to be careful. There's known spam words. Okay, you want to be careful of those. So here they are here, and I can pop this into the comments. So just be careful of using those kind of spam words. Okay, so things like money, affordable, like there's a few of them there. I think the one she had was open, but I don't know why. That was the only one I saw in her email. Urgent, things like that. So not doesn't mean anytime you put these in your email you're going to be put into a spam filter, but you might be. Okay, it's known to trigger spam. Okay, so essentially it's not a massive deal if one of your emails ends up in the spam folder. Okay, if all your emails end up in the spam folder, or for whatever reason one email might just get flagged as spam, it's not a massive deal. Okay, it happens to us as well. Okay, don't worry about it too much, but just be careful of being a little bit over the top, and also the things I cover in the course to make sure your deliverability is not harmed, like tagging people when they're not opening your emails, and then excluding those people who have that tag when you're sending your broadcasts, is actually going to reduce the chance you're going to be put into spam. Because if you keep sending your emails to people who are not opening them, then they're more like Gmail and Outlook are like, this email address is sending emails to people who aren't opening them. I'm going to block this and add this to the spam list. Okay, so essentially be careful of that, and make sure you're tagging people, and I've covered this in the course as well, tagging people who are inactive, and also avoiding emailing those. Okay, so now this question, which was 2 questions in one. So I'm going to start with this part. Okay, now I'm just going to pop this in here. So okay, is there a way to embed a survey or poll into my email active campaign? Short answer is no. Okay, now I went off and had a look. Okay, I was messing around all day with this thing. Now someone actually recommended this to me, and it's called Strippo. Okay, strippo.email. Okay, and I made an account with them, and I'm going to log in and I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm logged in. So essentially what this is this allows you to use AMP HTML emails. What's that? Okay, AMP is something that's just recently been introduced by Gmail, and essentially it allows you to embed dynamic things into emails, like things like a little survey, let's see what there is, right? So there's a few different things. You can add a form. Let's come in here. Let's go down here. What am I looking for? Okay, so in here, right, you can add in like a timer, and a lot of these things are in Active Campaign as well, right? So this is, but I'll show you this anyway. So you got images, text, spacer, video, social, banner, timer, and these with the thing, these are AMP blocks. Okay, now these are things you can actually put into your email, and this is a carousel. So let's say we do this, that's fine. Add slide. Slide 2 is this, add slide, and slide 3 is this. Okay, so let's just leave that as is, and then autoplay. Okay, so let's preview that. So this is a slideshow. Okay, this is a carousel now inside your email, which is really cool. So like, it looks like a website essentially. Now this, and also you can do this form. So I was messing around with this earlier on, and I made this form. Okay, I just stuck this product in here as a placeholder, but essentially if you wanted to send out a picture of one of your products from your box, okay, and you could say, did you enjoy this product? Okay, and you can put in yes or no. And that information can actually be saved inside of Stripo. Now it's really complicated to set it up, right? But I managed to figure it out. Now, I won't go into it this time because I'm going to tell you now. Only Gmail supports these types of AMP blocks. Active Campaign doesn't support it. Okay, so only Gmail supports it. Actually, I'm going to open this. I have a link here that was explained earlier on. Okay. So I'm going to paste this link into this thing that you can see. Okay, so you have to get whitelisted with Google to send AMP emails. It can only be sent from ESPs, ESP being email service provider, which is Active Campaign, MailChimp, whatever. Active Campaign is not in here. Okay, and also they only display in Gmail. Okay, so basically it's a new technology that's coming out. It's called AMP HTML emails. It doesn't display on, you know, your phone, well, maybe on your phone if you use Gmail app, okay, but essentially it doesn't display on Apple Mail, Outlook Mail, doesn't display anywhere, okay, it doesn't work, okay. Now on Active Campaign it also doesn't work. So I made a template earlier on, I exported it into Active Campaign in here, okay, and when it got into Active Campaign, it wasn't an AMP HTML block, it was just a HTML block. And it was essentially dead. It didn't move, okay? It didn't do anything. It actually didn't even display, okay? So essentially, the short answer is maybe in about a year, 2 years, when this technology moves forward, yes, you will be able to do that. And also the form details are in here. The data, where is it going to show me now? So essentially, someone can put in something like, did you enjoy this product? They could say yes or no. And essentially, this email here is a hidden field, which means that their email will be captured along with their questions, the answer to their question. And you can actually save that into a data source inside of Stripo. Let me go back here, or Stripo, whatever you want to call it. So I created a data source called feedback, and you can also link that up using Zapier. Remember I said it was complicated. You can send a webhook to Zapier, and then Zapier can send the information, the customer's email and their response, to a Google Sheet. And then when they're sent to a Google Sheet, you can also use Zapier to send them back to Active Campaign as a custom field. So it could be done once, you know, if you're using something like whatever the email service provider they mentioned there, like SendGrid, which we're not using in this course and I'm not using, okay? So if you're using SendGrid, if you get whitelisted with Google to actually send the emails and the person who opens it happens to be on Gmail, then it will work, okay? But for all intents and purposes, it doesn't work, okay? You can't really do it as of right now until more email service providers support these emails, and also email clients like Outlook, Google, whatever, actually support them emails being opened and seen. For now, it doesn't work, okay? This probably is a new technology that's coming out, so it could be done in a few years, so definitely keep your eye on it. So that's the first part of the question. Can it basically, for guys who are not sure, the question was, Is there a way to embed a survey or poll into my email and ActiveCampaign? I want it super easy that in order to give me feedback, you just have to click a button. Okay, something like, did you like this or that better? And just click the button. They don't get redirected to a different place. Okay, so the answer basically is no. You can't do it inside the email. You can redirect them to a different place, and that different place is going to be SurveyMonkey. Okay, now I haven't done this ahead of time, but I think I know how to do it. So yeah, that's the first part of it. Okay, now you also said you wanted to actually save their responses as a custom field. Okay, so that can be done. So you basically, the first part of the question, can it be done inside the email? No. Can you ask questions of your customers or ask for feedback from your customers and save those responses as a custom field? That answer is yes. Okay, now let's dive into it, because I actually haven't even looked into it how to do it. I a brief look the other day, and when I was responding to it, just via comments, but essentially you can use Zapier. Okay, so there's two ways to integrate SurveyMonkey with ActiveCampaign. Zapier integration will allow you to add or update contacts with SurveyMonkey responses, and if you do a direct integration, your contacts will not be updated, so there's no point in doing that. We want to have the contacts updated. Okay, so to get started, use the add or update ActiveCampaign contacts with SurveyMonkey survey responses Zap. Okay, let's try it. Now, of course, I presume step 1 or step 0.5 is to actually go to SurveyMonkey and create a survey. And I mean, look, I don't think you need my help for that, but we'll just have it open here just in case. So, to use a SurveyMonkey account, set up trigger. Let's just say the current customer survey. The collector is web link 1. So this is the response that they're going to find. Okay, so let's see. You have not. Okay, so please reconnect your survey account and authorize access to view answers along with responses. Okay. Okay, so now we've given SurveyMonkey and Zapier the authority to do this Zap. Okay, so now we can come back here, click OK, test trigger. Okay, so now we can see this person's response. Okay, so so you can also pull in multiple responses if you want. So we couldn't find another one. Okay, so grand. Okay, so essentially, okay, it would be someone giving out, wouldn't it? So if someone's not happy with the product, that has to be in the live video, right? Trust me, people are mostly happy, as you know yourselves. So essentially, what you want to do is create or update a contact. Click continue. So choose value. So the list, if they're already going to be in the list customers, then leave them in the list customers. Okay, now be careful here. If you change this to a different list, then they're going to be moved to a different list, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you're only sending this to your customers, then you want to leave them in the list customers. You want to select whatever list you want them in here. If you pick a different one, they're going to be moved to a different list. Okay, they'll be copied to a different list, I should say. They won't be removed from the original one. Okay, so here you could say email address. I think we asked their email address. No, we don't ask their email address. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. Actually, so sorry, you will need to ask their email address in the survey. So let me actually go back and choose a different survey. As I said, I haven't done this ahead of time. So so let's do this one, dog training survey, test trigger. Okay, so I think we asked the email address in this one. Okay, so we did. Okay, so you have to ask their email address in the survey so you can tie them back to the contact. Okay, so they're going to stay in the list customers. The email address is going to be their email, Okay, so you can ask a question like, to enter the competition, please enter your email. I covered this in the course as well. And I'm just going to check everything's working, guys. If anyone has any questions while we're live, let me know. Yeah, okay. So if anyone has any questions, just let me know. So essentially, now we're going to set up the so the first name and last name are not important, okay? So let's say we want a custom field, okay? And the custom field, by the way, I covered this in the course as well, but we'll just go back a step. Sorry guys, as I said, I haven't done this ahead of time, but you want to save their survey response as actually, no, we don't need to do a custom field, we can do a tag, okay? So that's fine. So now you want to associate their survey response with their email, okay? So essentially, you can have a question here like, it depends whatever you want to ask, right? It could be, were you happy with the last box, yes or no, okay? And then you could have a tag, something like, yes March, yes April, okay? Or like, see, whatever way you want to do it, okay? But essentially, you can ask them here. The question would be something like, let's say, for example, how old is your dog? Is just the question we asked here, okay? You're going to ask something like, were you happy with the products in the last box? Which was your favorite product, okay? Which product did you not like in the box? And essentially what you can do is you can say, if you ask these questions, let's say this question is, did you like which product did you like best in the last box, okay? And the answer they're going to answer here, let's say it's going to be toy number 1. So that's what the tag is going to be here, okay? Now you can also do a comma, and then you can also put in the answer to the next question, okay? Which might have been, which was your most favorite product in the box, okay? Or which product did you not like, okay? And then they're going to say, this is the question, and this is going to be their answer, okay? Obviously, this is going to be dynamically updated with every person's answer. So now, let's just leave it at that for now, okay? So essentially, the survey questions are asked in SurveyMonkey. The answers are now captured by Zapier. And then once we turn this Zap on, their actual contact will be updated with those tags, okay? This person's contact information, this person's email will actually be associated in ActiveCampaign with their answers, okay? Their email address will be associated with their answers via tags, okay? So essentially, these are the tags we have here. So essentially, you're going to see the customer, and it's going to be, liked this toy, liked that toy, didn't like, for us it's toys, right? For you it's a different product, okay? So whatever you want to add, you can essentially associate the answers to the questions that you ask in their surveys to them via tags. You can also do it via custom fields, okay? I think that's in here. Go to site, or is it forms? Might be forms. Forms, yeah. And then maybe it's context. Move things around in here so often. Manage fields, okay, so it's in lists, okay, so you can go to manage fields. Now, as I said, this is tags, right? That might not be great for you, okay? It might be a bit confusing or whatever. So what you can also do is you can create a custom field, okay? So you can say first name, last name. This is the ones we have. Shipping address, dog size, dog name, dog breed, okay? So essentially to create a field, just click here. You call it whatever you want. Favorite products, or whatever you want to call it. The field type is a text input, okay? Click add, and then it's going to be in here, okay? So essentially, when you do your Zap, then all the custom fields that we have are put here, okay? So your custom field, let's say this says favorite products, you can essentially link what was your favorite product question and the answer into this custom field, okay? So you can do it via tags, or you can do it via custom fields, okay? It's whatever you want. But essentially, yes, you can tie back someone's answer from SurveyMonkey into their contact information in ActiveCampaign, okay? Now, once you have this on, no matter what they answer in here will be passed back to ActiveCampaign as a custom field, which is helpful because then you can set automations to run. Like you can have an automation to trigger when someone is tagged with custom field X or tag Y, okay? Actually, that might be, yeah. So you might want to use tags if you want to trigger an automation, because I don't think you can trigger an automation from someone's custom field being updated, okay? But you could filter your contacts The custom fields are also good for filtering contacts by the specific field, or when you're actually writing an email, you can actually put in like we can put in dog size, and if you put in % dog size %, that will actually come up with their dynamic dog size in there, okay, or dog name, okay. So that's the difference between custom fields. Custom fields are for personalization, and tags can be for triggering automations, okay, and segmentation. So they're the two different ones you can do. So once you've done this, whatever the answer will be associated to them, either in a custom field or in a tag, and then essentially you make your survey, obviously, and you basically just link the survey to an email. Okay, so you click this, you go to say this is a survey, you go to collect responses. Okay, you grab the link, web link 1, copy the link, and you basically just write them an email now, or in one of your automations. So basically you just basically go to, so once you have the survey link, you just basically write them an email or put into one of your automations. Hey, here, please leave this feedback. You can also create a GIF. I know what you were talking about. You wanted to make it really easy for them. You could create something like a GIF on Jiffy, okay, where you could make it like a little moving. You could have the 4 options basically. You can have something like a cursor moving across them like that to make it really, really clickable, but it will have to redirect somewhere else into SurveyMonkey for those custom fields to be captured. Okay. Sorry, Shanna, I'm not sure why the screen is blurry. Looks okay on my screen. I don't know what to say about that one. Yeah, sorry, I have no idea why the screen is blurry. Looks okay to me, and looks okay when I look here too. So maybe trying another device, or it could be maybe if you are using your 3G or your LTE and not your Wi-Fi. I have no idea, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Is there a flow chart showing all the emails we need to set up? So this is a question that was asked a couple of weeks ago, and yes, I'm working on that. Essentially, we talked about the 4 buckets that people are going to be in, and when they first land on your website, they're going to be a lead. If they make it all the way to your checkout and abandon, they're going to be an abandoned cart lead. If they become a customer, they're going to be in the customer list. And the final 4th bucket is going to be if they cancel their subscription, they're going to be in the cancelled bucket. Okay, so we have 4 different buckets: leads, abandoned cart, customers, and cancelled. And what I'm going to do, I'm working on it now, is essentially making like a PDF where you can see these are your leads, these are the automations you need to get, and these are the emails inside that automation. Okay, this is the abandoned cart, this is the emails they get, and this is the automation they get, and this is the emails inside it. Same with the customer, same with the cancelled. So I'm working on that right now. But for the quick answer, basically it's if you go to the guides in the course, the automations that you have to build. So obviously I show you how to capture emails here, how to set up the segmentation, okay, and the one list rule to have all those 4 buckets, and also some tracking, and then how to design emails. But essentially the core automations that you need are here, okay. So abandoned cart, sideways retargeting, customer welcome series, customer upsell sequence, and these are for cancelled then. So these are the cancelled customer surveys, and yeah, so essentially they're laid out here, but I'm gonna make a document to make it easier for you guys to see, because someone has asked that before, and I'm gonna make it hopefully it's gonna be easier for you to realize the 4 different buckets and the emails that they have to be getting. But essentially the short answer is all the automations and the roadmap or whatever, or the flow chart of what they should be getting is here. Okay, so this starts with abandoned cart, this is leads, this is customers, and this is cancelled. Okay, so they're the 4 different buckets. They have to all get different messaging. Okay, the final one, I just added these in this week, is broadcasting. Okay, so when you're sending non-automated emails, you're sending out a blast. Okay, so yeah, sorry about the screen. I'm not sure why it's blurry. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, so module. Okay, so module 1 is growing your list. So you should put in as many of those list grow tactics that I said. You want an exit intent pop-up. You want a sign-up form if you can make one, or get someone to make it for you. You want an abandoned cart capture sequence, all those things. The next one here is module 2. Lesson 1 is the 1 list rule, basically, this is where I cover the 4 buckets, where you want people to be in one of the 4 lists, but not in all of them. Okay, they can't be duplicated. Okay, so that's how I show you how to set all these up. Okay, and have them all in separate lists. So once you've done that, it's logical next step, right? How do I design emails? How do I make my emails get open? How do I make people want to buy? And that's what I cover here in the email. This is module 3, building great emails. Active Campaign Builder and designing emails in Snappa and things like that. Okay, and then finally, number 4, or sorry. Okay, so I don't have a module 4. I need to fix that. Okay, it goes from module 3 to module 5. Okay, because this guide is confusing me. Okay, so I'll fix that. But essentially, it's module 5, and it's abandoned cart 1, abandoned cart part 2, sideways retargeting sequence part 1, 2, and 3, and 4, customer welcome series. Okay, so this is bucket number 1, abandoned cart. Bucket number 2 is leads. Bucket number 3 is customers. The first one is welcoming your customers, and this next one is going to be upselling them. Okay, and then the final bucket is cancel. Okay, so this is the cancel customer survey where you're going to get feedback, and then you've got cancel customer win back. Okay, so you can make better offers to cancel customers because you've already paid for them already before. So you can give them a better discount. You can give them more, benefits for coming back. Okay, so they're the automations you need to build, but you have to have them everybody segmented using the things I mentioned in module 2, and making sure people are in the right list and only in one list at a time. Okay, so that's essentially the automations you need to make. Now, I hope that's clear. Sorry about the screen being blurry. So yeah. Let me know if that answers the question anyway. Thanks, Shannon, for your questions anyway. Apologies, I'm not sure why it's blurry, to tell you the truth. It's strange. So yeah, so that was an interesting one. That was actually pretty fun for me to look into that. It looks like that Strippo or Stripo thing could be really cool once they actually, that technology comes out, or is actually used by more email service providers. Now, there's also other cool things you can do in here. You just can't. These ones with the AMP blocks, they don't display an active campaign. So I'll show you. I actually sent one of these in here today. So you got the campaigns. Manage templates. So I made this template. How it works is you basically build the email out here in Strippo, and then you can send it into Active Campaign as a template, and then once it's in here, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so it's completely coded, so you can put obviously HTML into Active Campaign. I don't cover it in the course because I don't know how to code, but essentially the problem here is the form is missing. Okay, so the form that I made here, because it's an AMP HTML block, it doesn't work in Active Campaign. Now, if you just do a normal HTML block, like something like a timer, okay, so let's say timer, okay, let's choose an end date. Let's say tonight at 10 o'clock, okay, time zone is Europe, Dublin. Okay, that's fine. So it's going to end in 4 hours, 29 minutes. So this is pretty cool that you can put in this countdown timer. I'm not sure they have this in Active Campaign. Let me see. Okay, maybe you can, but essentially it's a lot easier using this device or this software. So you export Active Campaign, just click export, and it's exporting. Okay, I'm going to replace the existing template because it's already the same name, and then I'm just going to click previous. So because this is a regular HTML block, I'm hoping it's going to work. Okay, no. Okay. So yeah. I think maybe it's just because I'm going to export it as a new one. Okay, so let's export Active Campaign as a new one. Okay, so it doesn't work either. Okay, so it just simply doesn't work. So it's a really cool software. If it worked, it would be able to make really cool things, dynamic emails with carousels, with forms in them, Lots of cool things you can do, but right now the technology isn't up to speed yet. So unfortunately, that is, yeah, strippo.email. So yeah, definitely cool thing to play around with, but as of right now, it doesn't look like it works that well. Now if you sign up for something like SendGrid, might work better. But I don't cover that, and I'm not getting into it, to be honest with you, because I've got everything already in ActiveCampaign, right? So let me see if anything else works. Video. YouTube. By the way, guys, feel free to follow my YouTube channel. Post that in the comments as well. Just getting started with YouTube. Not got a whole lot of videos up yet, but just trying to get them up, trying to build up my subscribers. Anyway, so let's put a link to this video, for example. Copy link address. So if I preview, okay, so it just takes me to YouTube anyway. Okay, but this is a handy way to put in. Let me see if this works in ActiveCampaign. So let's go back. It makes a nice thumbnail, which is pretty cool, because that's going to get a lot of people to click. And actually making that would be pretty difficult, I guess, if you're just, you'd have to get a screenshot of the video and then probably put that over it. So it's a pretty handy way if that does that. So let me see. Okay, so that works. Okay, so there's definitely an advantage to using this Strippo thing. It makes, yeah, like that's pretty cool. So like if I'm trying to get people to go over to my email list to my YouTube videos, or if you're doing something, this is much more likely to get a click than just having a link to, a link, like a piece of text linked to your YouTube channel. Okay, so you might see an email from me telling you to go and follow me on YouTube very soon, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. There's a few cool things you can do with it, right? But definitely when these kind of things are more widely adopted, it would probably be even better. But it certainly could save you some time, or maybe help you to design maybe nicer emails. Menu. So you got a menu here. Don't know what that's useful for, but I'm sure it is if you know how to use it. So yeah, it definitely helps to make some pretty cool things. Like none of these things are going to work in ActiveCampaign, so I'm going to get rid of them. But yeah, like if you wanted to do something like, obviously you can text, you can and then you can have that in here and it'll link straight to your YouTube video. Okay, stuff like that. Like, I mean, I don't know, it's pretty cool the way you can build the stuff in here and then you can export them straight to your ActiveCampaign, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I've run out of export to have that they want me to pay, so I might have to upgrade. So it's $12.50 a month, which is not too bad. So yeah, pretty cool software. Could be more useful in the coming years, weeks, months, years, when it actually gets more adopted. But for right now, the only way to do what you want to do, Lindsay, is to use SurveyMonkey, and you can update their people's either tags or custom fields with survey responses. Okay, so if anyone has any more questions, Shanna, if you have any more questions, I know it's blurry, but apologies for that. Or anyone else who's watching, if you have any questions at all, let me know. So yeah, that was pretty good. Definitely liking the engagement we're getting. It's doing this every 2 weeks seems to be suiting you guys better. So while we're still in pre-launch, this is great feedback for me to help me improve the course, obviously, as well. So yeah, definitely something I might make a video about, that that custom field thing. thanks Shanna, sorry about that. So the custom field thing, or the tags with yeah, I'll take that down in my notes. Alright guys, I've taken the notes down anyway, so I'll add some more videos in when I get a chance to do that. I'm also going to be adding in some videos about conversion rate optimization very soon, and I'm also moving this whole course into Kartra very soon as well, so you get an email with your login details, and I'll put some posts up in the group as well. So hopefully I'm going to finish pre-launch in the next couple of months, maybe a month or so, and we can get this course to be, you know, exactly what people need to improve their, not only their emails, but their conversion rate, their traffic sources, things like that, and looking to really get it to be as good as possibly can. So thank you everyone for your feedback, and I will talk to you in a couple of weeks.